All right, we have been learning a lot about the area and perimeter of rectilinear figures, but this concept is very, very difficult. So let's go through one more time on how we find the area and perimeter of rectilinear figures. The first step, every single time, should be to label all of your dimensions. Okay, so if I'm looking at this figure right here, I know that this side is 9 inches. This side is unlabeled. Well, I can use this 9 inches to help me understand the length of this unlabeled side. So, this side and this side have to combine to be the same length as the opposite side. So 4 plus our unknown equals 9. Well, that means our unknown has to be 5 inches. That's great, because 4 plus 5 equals 9. Here we have another unknown. Again, we can look at the opposite sides for help. This unknown plus this 9 equals 14. What could our unknown be? Here our unknown must also be 5, because 5 plus 9 equals 14. Now we have our first question. What is the perimeter? Well, to find the perimeter, I must add up all of my sides. So, to figure that out, I start with my 2 5s, because those can bundle together to make a 10. 5 plus 5 is 10. 9 plus 9 is 18. So 10 plus 18 is 28. 28 plus 4 more is 32. 32 plus 14 more is 46. So our perimeter is 46. Then we have to take a moment and think about how we label perimeter. Well, perimeter, since it's just adding up our outside, is just in our unit. So here, in this situation, it would be in inches. Then to find the area, we have another step. We've already labeled all of our dimensions, but now we have to decompose or break apart our figure into 2 smaller rectangles. You may choose to either cut your rectangle vertically or horizontally. I'm going to choose to cut my rectangle horizontally. I now have 2 smaller rectangles. If you really look at the rectangles that I have, you have to start thinking about which dimensions match your new rectangles. This large rectangle on the bottom, I know that my length is 14 inches, but I'm confused. Is my height 4 inches or 9 inches? I have to really look at the figure. A good way to do that would be to outline the figure or shade in one of your rectangles so that you can kind of visually see how to separate them. Well, since I broke this side with this line, I can break apart my 9 inches into 2 smaller segments. This side must be 4 inches because that is the length of this side. This side must be 5 inches because that has to match its opposite side, because we know that opposite sides of rectangles are congruent. To find the area of this larger rectangle, I simply must multiply 4 times 14. Now, in the 3rd grade, I'm not so great at multiplying by 14s. I could decompose it. I could multiply by 10 and 4. I could count by 4s 14 times. Either way I do it, I'm going to find out that my area of this rectangle is the equation 14 times 4. 14 times 4 is 56. So I'm going to write 56 inside of my larger rectangle. For my smaller rectangle, I also have to find the area. This one's a little bit easier because I've already labeled all the dimensions. So I know that for the equation here, I just have to multiply 9 times 5 and get 45. Well, that's not too bad. To find my total area, here's the part that I see a lot of people getting stuck on. We just have to combine these. add these or put these together. You are not going to multiply them. You are going to add them together. When you add 45 plus 56, you are going to get 101. When you combine those numbers, you have to again think, how am I going to label this? Here I know that area is in square units, and I look back at my unit, inches. Square inches. Now it's your turn. Continue watching. There'll be one more rectilinear figure. I want you to find the perimeter and the area of that shape and look for in the description of the video to check to see if your answer is correct.